Welcome, everybody. Good afternoon. On behalf of the NSU Foundation and Alumni Association, I welcome you today as we celebrate commencement and the graduates of Northern State University, as well as our honored guests this afternoon, our distinguished alumni. My name is Lindsay Huber, the chair of the NSU Alumni Association, and I would like to start the program by thanking you and our recent NSU alumni, Tiara Cassens, for the beautiful music provided. Tiara graduated from Northern in December of 2020 with a degree in music education. Let's give her a second round of applause. At this time, I am proud to introduce our Master of Ceremonies, NSU Provost and Vice President, Dr. Mike Wanis. Please welcome Dr. Wanis to the podium.
Good afternoon, everybody. I think it's afternoon, I'm not quite sure. Thanks, Lindsay. As Lindsay said, I'm Mike Wanis, I'm the provost at Northern State. And I wanted to just kind of introduce a little bit. We hold this event on the weekend of graduation for a reason. Not only are we joined by several past distinguished alumni inductees, but we're here to honor this group of talented alumni that were brought forward by our faculty, as well as celebrate alongside more than 200 graduates tomorrow at commencement. With over 30,000 graduates across the nation and around the world, being honored is a wonderful tribute to both you and the graduates, both for your talents and abilities during your days at Northern and your success since graduation. The Distinguished Alumni Induction is an opportunity to recognize the accomplishments of Northern alumni who have made significant contributions both in their professions and in service to their communities. We are here today to publicly recognize you and let you know that we, the members of the university community, take great pride in all that you have achieved. We also want to let you know that whether you were a graduate of Northern Normal and Industrial School, Northern State Teachers College, Northern State College, or Northern State University, you will always be a member of the Northern family. What a great group of people to shine a spotlight on, especially as we confer our graduates tomorrow. Before lunch, I had an opportunity to meet several of the incoming distinguished alumni, and it just reminded me of SDSU's tagline. It says, "You can go anywhere from here." And as I thought about it, I thought, where is anywhere? That actually doesn't sound very promising. So I thought for Northern, maybe we should say something like, you can do great things from here, because the alumni that we're highlighting today have done amazing things. And so I really want to congratulate you that you are doing amazing things, and you have done great things since you left Northern State University. Our first deserving distinguished alumnus this afternoon is Dr. James Hess. Dr. Hess received his bachelor's degree in 1973 and master's degree in 1975 from NSU, his doctorate from UNC in 1994. Hess has presented at state and national conferences on topics such as school district accountability, transportation safety, and developing legislative action plans. He has helped lead the efforts to establish and expand 3 community preschools and regional professional training centers for reading recovery. He has also helped develop the national award-winning Students First program, pairing students with community success coaches, and the Bemidji Career Academies, which provide real-life career experiences for high school students, earning them high school and post-secondary credit. His numerous awards include the Minnesota Association of School Administrators Polaris Leadership Award, Regional Administrator of Excellence, District 29 Administrator of the Year, Colorado Elementary Principals Department Service Award, and National Coca-Cola Foundation Educator of Distinction. Hess was elected president of both the Minnesota Association of School Administrators and the Colorado Elementary Principal Association. He served on the National Governing Board of the American Association of School Administrators and as state treasurer of the Colorado Association of Supervision and Curriculum Development. He has also been a local club officer with Rotary and Lions Club and participated in many community development activities such as Bemidji Leads and the Joint Economic Development Commission. Hess lives in Bemidji, where he retired after serving 14 years as superintendent of schools. He and his wife, Nikki, have 2 daughters. Jackie lives in the Twin Cities, where she works for Wells Fargo Corp., and Jane Ann lives in Idaho, where she teaches deaf preschool children. Please help me in welcoming Dr. James Hess to the stage.
Thank you very much. Distinguished alumni, NSU faculty, staff, and guests, let me begin by expressing my sincere gratitude to each one of you and to be included with such a distinguished group of honorees. There are amazing accomplishments that have come from this group of honorees. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you to sit back, relax, and let me share with you my Northern story. Growing up in the 50s in a small town, Clark, South Dakota, in a family of 8, I dreamed of being a jet pilot. Astronauts had not yet been invented. Being a banker, or perhaps even being a lawyer. My father operated a snowplow and mowers for the State Highway Department to pay the bills. But his true love was music. He had a dance band that traveled throughout South Dakota, North Dakota, and Minnesota. Each fall, the Hess family was loaded in a plain, vanilla-colored Pontiac, and we traveled the 80 miles to Aberdeen to experience Gypsy Days. Politicians and floats filled the parade route. My favorite part of the parade, however, was watching the smart-stepping marching bands, especially the precision marching of the Northern State Band with their glittery, crisp uniforms, their concert hall sound, and their driving percussion section playing a heart-thumping, toe-tapping cadence. As an 8-year-old, I was quite impressed. With a band that exciting, I knew Northern was the right place for me. 5 of the 6 children in my family thought the same and attended Northern State. My freshman year at Northern was amazing. I was assigned to Gertie Hall to live with 399 way overstimulated 19-year-olds. Yesterday, recognizing the statute of limitations had expired, I returned to the scene of the crimes. Gertie Hall had vanished. I hope it was nothing we had done, but I can't be sure. During the fall of 1969, the Vietnam War was escalating, and America instituted a draft to increase its military strength. It seemed like yesterday, as nearly all of the 400 Gertie Hall residents crammed into the first-floor lounge to watch the televised lottery where we received our draft numbers. My birthday, May 14th, was the 40th date selected from the hopper, assuring me that if I didn't keep up my grades, I'd soon be sent to Saigon. Dean's List? Dean's List, yeah, here I come. Later that night, most Gertie Hall residents joined hundreds of other young men at the depot or loggers, celebrating their high draft numbers or trying to forget their low draft numbers. Now, I was blessed to learn from some fantastic teachers and mentors during my bachelor's and master's degree days. Most memorable were Dr. Brock, who made history come alive with his riveting lessons taught to sleepy 300 or 400 freshmen in the ad-odd. Mr. Lawton, who took a typically boring subject like geography and challenged us to look for the system connections well before 6 Degrees of Separation was released in the 1990s. Dr. Jack Bergeron, who conducted the collegiate choir with zestful passion, his classes were a highlight of my freshman year and undergraduate program. Dr. John Arneson, who masterfully taught psychology classes and ignited a fire in my heart to learn more about social sciences. I did suffer one brief break with reality during my freshman second semester registration. I mistakenly enrolled in a 7:15 a.m. swimming class. Those brisk morning walks from Jurdy Hall across the open field on campus to the pool in 40-degree below zero temperature and gale force winds made me question my sanity. Our purple lips, purple hands, and purple feet might have been the inspiration for great popsicles, or this may have been part of an elaborate Clark Swisher plot to repay us for our antics in the stands during athletic contests. In retrospect, summer term badminton or social dance might have been a much better choice. My northern years quickly passed as I earned a bachelor's and master's degree in education. I was so fortunate to have knowledgeable and skillful teachers, bright, eager classmates, and the best roommates ever. Randy Holzing, retired Holgate Middle School teacher, and Richard Neal, an attorney, were my best friends and constant companions. I really believe, I attended one of the most preeminent teacher preparation programs in the country. Even with this strong background, however, my learning had just begun. While student teaching and eventually teaching at Lincoln Elementary in Aberdeen, I was blessed to work with outstanding educators like Leo Jeffrey, Corinne Volness, Evie Kino, and Connie Locken. Thank goodness they were patient and saw some potential in me. They helped convert learning theory to practical application in a collegial environment. They knew all about professional learning communities long before Richard DeFore's work became popular. I can never adequately thank them for their support and encouragement during my first few years. I loved just about everything in teaching. I loved the kids and building relationships with them. I loved seeing the light bulb go on in a child's eyes when they finally understood a concept. I loved working in a professional learning community. I loved the challenge of designing effective lessons. However, I did not love beginning teacher pay. In fact, repaying college loans, making a car payment, paying the rent, utilities, insurance, food, and minimal entertainment was beyond my meager budget and caused me to consume far too many ramen noodles and 99-cent Totino's pizzas where the cardboard backing tasted about the same as the pizza. It caused me to leave the classroom, a place that I loved so much. I'm not trying to preach, but when I graduated from Northern in the 1970s, the average South Dakota teacher's pay was 48th in the nation. Nearly 50 years later, after all that's happened in the world and in education, average teacher pay in South Dakota is 45th in the nation, according to a recent NEA Education Week report. So much time, yet so little progress. Now, during Teacher Appreciation Week, you may send a teacher a card or a flower, but beginning teachers need help with rent or groceries. They need a new pair of shoes or help with the classroom supplies that they so willingly purchase out of their own pocket. Beginning teachers deserve your respect, and they deserve to earn a living wage. Many have written about the contributions of teachers. My favorite is a poem by Margaret O'Rourke, It's called Molders of the Future. You may have heard it. It bears repeating. Most folks, well worth the memory, have statues carved in stone, but teachers mold their monuments in living flesh and bone. The student who goes out in life, making a well-known name, admits unto the heart of it all, some teacher shares the fame. I never hear a pianist with talent true and rare, but in the shadows I can see a teacher standing there. No skillful doctor ever saved the lives of humankind without the seed some teacher stirred within that fertile mind. No actor, writer, carpenter, no boxer you'll allow pursues their chosen field unless some teacher showed them how. Lawyers, doctors, engineers, all who are beloved by men, remember that some teacher taught a quote and repeat it now and then. Yes, teachers mold their instruments. They build them year by year, not like the ancient pyramids, so awesome and austere, which time and time wear away, but spurning solemn store, our teachers mold eternally in living flesh and bone. I'm Dr. Jim Hess. I'm a proud Northern State graduate, and I'm a teacher. Thank you for this prestigious recognition.
Thank you so much, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Well done.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Our next inductee today is Joe Singer. Joe Singer, who graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in Education in 1972, is Vice Chairman of Dakota Bank. Singer coached and taught from 1973 to 1976 in Eureka, another teacher. He was active in the Coaches Association and president of the local Teachers Association. Singer is past president of the following organizations: NSU Wolves Club, an Alumni Association, Aberdeen Development Corporation, Aberdeen Area Chamber of Commerce, Roncalli Booster Club, and St. Mary's Church Council. He also served as United Way campaign chair in 1992 and has been United Way Rails Club chair since 1992. Singer was a Paul Harris Fellow in Rotary and the recipient of the Aberdeen Area Chamber of Commerce George Award and the Sertoma Club's Service to Mankind Award. Singer and his wife, Cindy, live in Aberdeen. They have 3 children, Michelle, Azure, Todd Singer, and Brian Singer, and 8 grandchildren, Michael Azure, Anna Azure, Olivia Singer, Gwyneth Singer, Reese Singer, Audrey Singer, Emma Singer, and Everett Singer. Please welcome Joe Singer to the podium.
Well, now, where's that foundation staff, Lauren and others? I do have a pass card today because I drew the short straw, and I have to give the commencement address tomorrow. So I'm just going to wing it, and my Dakota Bank family knows I'm good at that. But first of all, I too am so honored to be named to the Alumni Association or Distinguished Service Award. And as I look at the past recipients, you know, I just really do have to feel good about that, and certainly those in attendance today and those that are receiving the same award. And certainly want to thank our good friends Dee and Terry Helms. Surprised me today by joining us. Had no idea, and my Dakota Bank family, Rick, Chad, Mike, Daryl, well, Dr. Aaron Fulberg, you're almost part of the family, Rod Fulberg, Sheila Krause, and Pam Martin, and Rick Rylance. And if you look at that middle table, what I think you're going to find interesting, and I'll get to this in a minute, if those of you at that table will just raise your hand as to the Northern graduates. Come on, get them up there. And, you know, my background obviously is a little different. I too spent time at Jurdy Hall and was not nearly as active in Student Senate as he was. Probably did a lot of kibitzing at a few other establishments. And Jurdy Hall, that was quite a place at the time. And my lottery number, by the way, was 72. So I too kind of got my act together. And my wife of 50 years still reminds me of the time she pointed out where the library was at Northern. And that's the other thing about being a recipient of this award and doing the commencement address. I said under one condition, you do not share my GPA. But all is good. But my story is a little different in that I did not attend Northern the first 2 years. I started in the fall of 1970 and, you know, really did get involved with quite a few of the athletes at Northern and being on the track team and still going, you know, some of my best memories are going to the basketball games at the old Civic Arena, watching Rick Rylance do the cheerleading. Oh, that was a couple years later, right, Rick? But anyway, or going to Simmons Field and watching a football game, you know, in a very, if you will, snowstorm. But with all that, I think graduating, teaching school for 3 years, and then really now being around Northern, actually for 50 plus years. And just seeing the continued growth that this university has brought to the region. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that tomorrow, but you know, as a graduate, I couldn't be more proud of that and what Northern has done for the community and the surrounding area. And those of you that haven't been back for a while, you'll be in total shock when you see what that campus transformation. It's just absolutely amazing. So it's because of that, you know, I really do feel privileged in receiving this award, and a little bit more tomorrow. But thank you, Northern State University, for naming me this the distinguished alum. I greatly appreciate it, and as Josh Moon would say, go Wolves.
Our next deserving honoree is James Klein. James Klein received a BS in Social Science in 1969. Klein was named Financial Services Champion of the Year in 2011 by the U.S. Small Business Administration. He earned the Smart Leader Award from Smart Business Magazine, and he received the 2017 Outstanding Alumni Award, Advanced Management and Leadership from Said Business School at the University of Oxford. He has received the following master's level awards: Performance, Management, and a Strategic Perspective from Harvard Business School, and Advanced Management and Leadership from Oxford, Said Business School. He is also an Oxford University Press published author, Global Business in 2018. Klein, who received an MBA in 2002, works as a principal of JR Global. He and his wife Lola live in Columbus, Ohio. They have 2 children, Johann Klein and Amadeus Klein, and 4 grandchildren, Kylie, Faith, Alexandra, and Braden. Please join me in welcoming James Klein to the stage.
Which one of these works?
I think they both work.
They both work?
Yeah.
It's too bad. Thank you for the introduction, Provost. Appreciate it. And what an honor, a privilege it is to be here and receive this award. I want to do a special thank to the Alumni Association, to the Northern State University Foundation, both the staff and the board of directors, and the Northern's President's Office and the senior cabinet. Again, what an honor it is to receive this award, and how humbling it is to be amid this group of exemplary people. Not just those receiving awards, but those who are doing the work. I find it interesting and sometimes unfortunate that the values that we cherish most are usually those things that we talk least about. The passions of our heart, through ignorance, lack of use, or manipulation, are not always what we have learned to embrace. Published passions in the world today are not of short supply, and rampant pliant ideologies grow like weeds. Within the paradoxic box that we call everyday life, it is not always easy to stay in touch with those things that are important to us. That connection takes perseverance, fortitude, boldness, purpose, and attitude. We always need to remember who we are. We need to remember where our passions were identified, molded, and nourished. For me, Northern State University is one of those places. It took a poor South Dakota boy, exposed him to a world that would change his life forever. Some basic values and ideas may not have been taught here, but they certainly were caught. Values like believing that people are important, they're valuable, and they have a basic dignity. It reminds us that no matter what our passion was, part of our purpose was being responsible. Whether it was the neighbor next door or the neighbor in some unpronounceable neighborhood somewhere in the world, we were all inspired. The evidence of that is present right here in this room. Not in just today's distinguished guests, but the people who have remembered that gratitude is part of responsibility. Remembering our past is shapes our future. I have a favorite poet, John Milton, that said, a grateful mind while owest owes not, but still pays at once. It is this primal instinct to collect and to pass learning, knowledge, and value to the next generation that makes me proud of Northern. It is my belief that through this institution's presence and presentation, the world can experience a different kind of system. It may not be seen in newspapers or media, but it is evident nonetheless. It is evident in every graduate that has a passion of facilitating access to water, health care, education for people who don't have that access. It is testified by alumni that devote themselves to helping communities through education, social services, and hands-on relationships that change lives. It is demonstrated by former students that have used their talents to interpret life through their art. Whether it's literature, music, theater, statuary, they depict the connection between beauty and the lines and light of the world, which the world was in dire need of today. Northern's influence is shown by those who impact the lives of children and adults through guiding, teaching, modeling discipline in sports, music, clubs, and uncountable social interactions. It is evident by a sea of influence over a century of inculcating values, knowledge, and understanding. And it is in that fact that we come to an inescapable conclusion, and that is, we are Northern. Whether here at this school or out in our communities, states, nations, the world, we are Northern. The lessons, the experience, the stresses, the celebrations, all have become part of who we are. What we must do from time to time is remember where we've been, reclaim our passion, and take the next step forward. It does not call for perfection, it calls for presence. Another one of my favorite English writers, George Eliot, said, "The important work of moving the world forward does not wait to be done by perfect people." We are Northern. Congratulations to the inductees and to all of you. Thank you.
It is now my pleasure to introduce William Deng. William Deng graduated with a bachelor's degree in international business in 2010 and a master's degree in banking and financial services in 2014. Deng, a recipient of the South Sudan Humanitarian Award, is founder of the Deng Foundation. His foundation's goal is to provide children in his hometown of Awil East, South Sudan, with access to clean water, basic health care, and proper educational infrastructure. Deng left his home and family in South Sudan at age 14, walking for 9 days through the jungle to escape civil war and to seek an education for himself. Deng lives in Aberdeen, where he works as CDFI coordinator for Homes Are Possible, Incorporated. Please welcome William Deng to the podium.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. I really appreciate it. I have to say that it is about damn time. I have been waiting for this. And do you understand how long it is to wait for this moment? I came to Northern way back in 2006. With a plan to graduate and leave just like everyone else. I graduated, and I couldn't leave because I have to wait for this. So that was all lie. I just wanted you guys to laugh. So it was all lies. When I came to Northern as a student, I was just a student looking for opportunity. But you guys became my friends. The NSU became my friend. I stay around, pursuing my dreams, and we became family. And because of that, I want to say thanking you, not only Northern State University, but the people that behind it. So thank you. Whew. Now is the hardest part. South Sudan is different. It's a different environment, an environment that I cannot explain to you guys, but the only way you'll be able to understand is to witness yourself. And being able to come to Northern, having this all opportunity, it has been a blessing. It has been a blessing. I've been blessed. And on top of that, receiving this such an award, completely just blowing my mind. I can't even, imagine, because this thing is still not real to me. So for that, thank you all so very much from the bottom of my heart. I didn't write speech because I hate writing. Not only do I hate writing, I don't know how to write. That's the problem. It's a problem. So I hope that's explained at all the reason why I don't have a written speech. But I am able to make you laugh a little bit, so that's a plus, right? Whew. So, NSU has this culture environment that made me feel welcome the first time I came here. And that culture environment, didn't just create itself. There's people behind it. And because of that, I feel comfortable to stay around NSU even when I graduated. All of us human beings, we just really want something simple, simple, a positive environment that we can dream, a positive environment that we can just laugh, a positive environment that we are loved and love one another. That's what NSU gave me, and I don't know if there's anything that I can do to give that to NSU, and being a part of this, just made me feel that, there's a lot of good in this world, a lot of good people, a lot of great places, and a lot of good things. And the culture this NSU has that make people feel welcome like myself, it's just so amazing that I don't want to make this today about me. I want to make this today about the people at NSU, because you guys, are the people that make this culture positive environment, so good, so welcoming to anybody, no matter where you come from. And if I have to write a tag for NSU, I would say, come to NSU and you can dream here. That would be my tag. You can dream here from NSU. You can dream and go anywhere. So what I would like you guys to do, I want all of us to clap for NSU, for the people at NSU, the people that behind created all this culture, welcoming, so blessing for all of us. Please give yourself a hand. Because I came to NSU, my dream was possible. I was able to get education, and that was my dream. That's why I left home. That's why I worked for 9 days. I wanted education. And when I got education, I wanted to do something back home, my home country, because I am blessed, and not a lot of people have been blessed like me. And with an environment like NSU, made it possible for me. And as you made it possible for me to build a medical clinic. And as you made it possible for me to build a medical clinic in my hometown that's saving life every single day. My community have access to clean water. Since our clinic was open, we have 0 fatality for the last 7 months. Now we have a school building. Children are going to school. They have opportunity that I didn't have when I was growing up, which was the reason why I wanted to work for 9 days. I didn't choose to do that. I had to. And I just want to close it out by saying, if I say I did all of this, I would be a liar. I had so many people that helped me that I don't know how I am going to pay them back. Because I am a person that when you do something good to me, I feel like I owe you, and I do. I owe a lot of people. Most of them are not here. Most of them are here today. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I have a couple people here today, Judge and Dr. Moon. You know, they've been great, you know, not only been friends of mine, but they have supported my dream. And my dream was to make sure my country have clean water, which is now, not my community have clean water, which is happening now, that, you know, they have access to health care that they never had before, which is not happening, and school system. So, Judge and Dr. Moon, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for your friendship and for your compassion that you show me and my community. I really appreciate it. But I just want to say that, Judge, I love you, man, but Dr. Moon, she's more awesome than you are. So I just have to get that out there. I'm sorry. The last thing I just wanted to say is that I have a friend of mine here as well, 2 of them, Paul and Vicky. And the first time I told Vicky my story and why I wanted to build a medical clinic, you know, she just say, you know, brother, anything you need, I got you, and we're going to make it happen. Medical clinic standing right now in our community in South Sudan because Vicky, people like Vicky and countless other people say, yes, we can do it. We got your back, and let's do it. And today, I want to give this award to Vicky because I do not deserve it. And thank you. Thank you.
Our last deserving honoree this afternoon is John Lopez. John Lopez is a product of a place. His people's ranches are scattered along the Grand River in northwestern South Dakota. Lopez's forte lies in gentling cults and perfecting their bloodlines, and he started his celebration of them by sculpting in clay. His sculpture studio is located in Lemon, South Dakota. Lopez, who received an associate degree in commercial art in 1993, discovered his gift for sculpture at Northern. He is the creator of the wolf statue that stands at the front of the Jewett Regional Science Education Center. The life-size sculpture is fabricated out of found objects and shapes of steel that Lopez cut with his plasma cutter. Lopez's work reflects generations of a life that's fading into history. It's a life lived in barns and grain elevators, workshops, and pastures. It's the life of the land that he loves. Please join me in welcoming John Lopez to the stage.
Thank you so much. I'm very, very honored to be here. And William, I think you got the new tagline. What was it? From Northern, you can go anywhere?
You can abbreviate it. You can go anywhere.
Okay, well, that I can attest to that. I went to high school in Lemon, South Dakota, and I didn't write a speech either, so I'm just going to wing it. But I went to high school in a Lemon, you've probably been there, and not college material. I wasn't college material, and I was working here for Don Fordham, painting signs, because my dad is a horse trader, and Don and Dad had traded some horses with Bill McNeil, and he said, well, I know this guy, and there's my name tag. I know this guy in Aberdeen. He's got some of our horses. You can go work for him if you want to be a commercial artist or a sign painter. So I was painting signs for Don. And then my mom called me one day and said, your grandparents agreed to help you go to school. So I started a semester later than most of the other kids that had started before me. And I guess I could say that without Northern, and my introduction to sculpture and art, I definitely wouldn't be a sculptor because it wasn't on my radar at all. And it has taken me around the world, believe it or not. Lynn Carlsgaard was my sculpture professor, and we had these our assignment was to do these little wax, like a figure of a man, and to learn the proportions of how a person is proportioned according to the size of your head. And so he would take us through these steps, and we had a model in class and had this wax figure, and then we would take it through the bronze casting process, and there was a foundry on campus, and we would put a ceramic shell on it, melt the wax out, pour the bronze in, go through the whole thing, and I was hooked. It was like the night before we poured bronze, I couldn't sleep, and I also lived in Jurdy. And so it had this effect on me. It really sucked me in. And so I sought out, after I graduated from Northern, I was really wanting to become a professional sculptor. Didn't really know how to go about it. But I got a job working for Dale Lamphere, and one foot in front of the other and one opportunity in front of another, and keep going through doors. And here I am. I've done 12 of the presidents in Rapid City, and I've done 3 of the governors in Pierre. And then about 10 years ago, my aunt Effie, is a school teacher from Midland, South Dakota. She was tragically killed in a car accident. And so I moved down to be with her husband down on this ranch, and he wanted to bury her on the ranch. So I helped build this cemetery, and I started making these different things for the cemetery out of scrap metal. And so then that's when my scrap metal career kind of started to take off. And all the training that I had from Northern about learning proportions and muscle and anatomy and really studying your figure paid off, and all these different years of sculpting in bronze. So now when I do these sculptures like the wolf here at Northern, and I really try to make it as real as possible, but yet it's made out of found objects. And one of the more interesting commissions, talking about sculpture taking me around the world, I got a job with a company by the name of Hermes, and they're based in Paris. And so they flew me to Paris, and I got my cowboy hat on. I'm going on on the train or whatever the deal is called, and different people are just like, "Howdy, you from Texas?" And I'm like, "No, I'm from South Dakota," and they probably never heard of that. But anyway, I go into this big Hermes workshop, and Hermes is like the Birkin bag. It's I don't know. It's not as famous as it's probably as famous, but it's not as known in South Dakota. And so we go into this workshop, and they're putting alligator hides and all these different things that I'm supposed to use that they don't use anymore, and put it into this sculpture for one of their windows. And so that was just crazy. I'd pinch myself like, I'm in Paris, France. I'm just a ranch kid from South Dakota, and I'm working for this big company. So I finished a couple pieces for them, and they displayed them in their store windows in Houston, and then they moved them from there into New York City. And so I got to go and be there when they installed them and whatnot. And then this last year I went to Qatar, took my artwork to Qatar, and met some amazing people from all around the world that all these guys do scrap metal art. And I think they went on Pinterest or Instagram, and they picked these different artists and put them all in one show. So we were there for 2 weeks and just had an amazing experience meeting artists from Israel, from Oman, Turkey, Russia. And so right now there's a lot of people that are making sculptures out of found objects. It's kind of like, you use what's there instead of creating a new, starting from scratch. It's kind of like recycling, So I just renovated an old bar in Lemon, turned it into an art gallery. I had a few friends, a couple guys look me up on the internet from Nigeria that come to Lemon every year, and they paint a mural or put on some workshops. And so I have a couple sculpture gardens and this gallery in Lemon, and we give these school tours, and then people come in the summertime to see my work or to meet me in person, and my mom is the main host there. So if you get the chance to come to Lemon, stop into the Kokomo and say hi. I'd love to see you and give you the grand tour. And thank you so much to Northern for this amazing award. I don't know what else to say, but thank you so much.
Congratulations to all of our distinguished alumni inductees this afternoon. I would like to thank you all for joining us today and for your continued support of Northern State University. We wish you continued success in all that you do. And I just have to say that I'm wrapping up my second year as provost at Northern State University, and the stories that I have heard about the lives touched today make me very proud to be a part of Northern. Go Wolves.